and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the Sparkling Tuna Cup, edition number 48. Welcome, everyone, to your weekly dose of Open StarCraft. We're here to find out who will get that tuna. As I'm, of course, host Live VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players! !B in the chat to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is live, it's up and running and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. We have our first series, we have our first matchup, we have our first competitor. We have the blue Zerg player from the land of Hong Kong representing Team Hyper 1. It is GogojOey. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the ex-Zerg player, now Protoss, full-time, maybe? Copium. We have from the land of the UK, it is the red Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Yeeba. Let us go. We are settling into our PvZ to kick things off. Eba going straight for the expansion, going straight for the Nexus here at his natural. GogojOey spicing it up, going for a hatchery just outside, also at the gold base, but on the other side of said gold. Okay, I'm ready for some nonsense. So with this gold base being taken on the right hand side, the added benefits of this is that you get access to this gas geyser, a rich Vespian gas geyser here on the other side of the wall, as opposed to the standard gas geyser here towards the left hand side instead. So it is a little bit more lucrative, that is true, but it's also that much more exposed as well, exposed to the elements, exposed to your opponent. GogojOey, what is our plan? How do we approach this? I'm curious, I'm excited. So now we are settling on in. You have Eba going for his own gate expand into Cybercore back at home. My apologies, it is going to be a 2-gate opener out of Eba, not a gate expand. It's Cybercore, as I was mentioning. So 2-gate opener. With this, we're going to be going for some Adept Harass early on. The gold base is being prioritized, of course, here by Eba as well. And Eba is confirming that the gold base has been taken. There we go. Big scout here from Eba. Going for the gold, does get eyes on the saturation. And Eba, with this 2-gate opener, is going to be able to punish. Is going to be able to get across the map as quickly as possible with the depths and harass and try to punish this mineral line. Now, GogojOey has spotted the opener. You can see here with the Overlord, he has seen both gateways, so GogojOey is aware that the depths are on the way. It's going to be on GogojOey to minimize his losses to, imagine, get into Lings, maybe even get a Spine Caller here. I'm curious if we can defend, if we can save these workers. We'll see. Behind this, GogojOey going for his third at his natural location. Let's go. And it's going to be a Twilight Council opener here out of Eba, feeling like Glaive Adepts. I mean, it could still be something different. It could be something along the lines of a Dark Shrine opener of DTs. Is also viable. We shall see. I'm just catching up with the chat. And just catching up, but here we go. The gateways are finishing up. Gateways are finishing up as we speak. We have not gone for a robo. Interesting. So it's going to be 4 gate glaives, I imagine, once we have the resources for it. But because there's no robo, it looks like this might be a macro variation. What I'm referring to here, as we haven't invested into a robo, it means that there's no warp prism, means that there's no way to reinforce across the map, means that we're just going to be warping in our depths here back at home, shading out, and we expand. Speaking of, there it is, there's the Nexus. The money that we would have spent on a robo is now being spent on the Nexus instead. So, again, a macro variation of 4-gate Glaive Adept. Okay. So we'll see how this all comes together. We'll see if we can get some value here. As the Adepts are going to be amassing, we're waiting for a second warp in. Once warp gate is done, of course, it is finishing. Delayed robo here out of Eba. Going for the forge. And behind this, GogojOey, he's been freely mining from not just the gold minerals, but also from the interesting gas geyser as well. So an abundance of minerals and gas. We're going for a roach war, and we are pushing out off of Hatch Tech. There we go. Lair is now on the way for GogojOey. Lair is in production. Lings are pushing in. As the Lings move in, here come the Adepts. Uh-oh. And we should be able to deny this third base. We can dive on that Nexus, but at the same time, Adepts, they do shade towards that third of GogojOey. And they do get dealt with. Good positioning here with the Lings, good positioning with the Roaches. Adepts have dealt 0 economic damage so far as we shade in towards the main. We do commit to the shade. And drones will finally be going down. 1, 2, 3 drones going to be falling. Going to get a 4th. And barely a 5th drone towards the end. So 5 dead workers for all those Adepts. I'm not so certain that was quite worth it. Now, thankfully, Eba does defend back at home. I'm a little bit shocked, but the Nexus did survive, I believe. Oh, my mistake. The Nexus was killed. That was a kill, not a cancel on the Nexus. Ay, ay, ay. GogojOey looking strong here. And now we can push. Now we can move out of depths. Once again, going to be shading out towards the gold. There is a Spine Crawler in position. Lings turn back around. Adepts, they commit to the shade. Oh, good. And again, the Spine Crawler is waiting for them. 1, 2, 3 drones go down. 3 drones from 4 Adepts. Meanwhile, GogojOey focusing on his push. Ravagers have arrived. We can bile down the wall. There is an Immortal, though. There is that Immortal. Now we're going to be slowly pushing forward here. Show us the vials. Oh! Barely grazing the army. Not the connections we were hoping for. And with that, GogojOey is going to have to back off. Shaves off a couple of units here and there, but we're bleeding out a lot of Lings. A lot of Lings are going down. And we're going to be losing some Ravagers as well. This is not worth it, by the way. 1, 2, 3 Ravagers here. The overcharge putting in a lot of work. GogojOey did overextend. Bleeding out Lings is one thing, but bleeding out Ravagers is another. Overlord getting caught out. GogojOey going to be reinforcing. Moving out with his Lings, going to try and get us around. Can he catch the Immortal? That's going to be huge. Up. And we do collapse on the least on top of the Sentry. Sentry goes down, and yeah, we're going for the Immortal as well. There's no escape. Eba caught with his pants down. Ay, ay, ay. Bleed out the Immortal, bleed out the Sentry. The Stalker's going down as well. There is no blink. Good catch from GogojOey. Up. Barely gets the Stalker. And Overcharge, I believe, is on cooldown. Yeah, it's on cooldown. We're breaking through. We're trying to at least. Yeah, we get shut down. Sentry has arrived. There's the Overcharge. It's now being popped. And GogojOey being forced back for a moment. Is forced back, but again, it's only Adepts and 1 Immortal. The Immortal's putting in a lot of work, but we're running out of shield battery energy. And GogojOey looks like he's finally done it. He has finally broken through. We do have another Warping of Stalkers, though. And a second Immortal has arrived. We focus out as many Stalkers as we can. The Immortal's going ham. Boys are being pulled. And Eba holds. But at the same time, is on 2 bases. Denied mining here at the gold. Now, GogojOey doesn't have the most amazing economy behind this, but he's expanding, taking another hatchery, reinforcing with more Roaches, Ravagers, and Lings. Miles, connecting with the Sentry. Okay, we need a little bit more time here to gather up energy for the Overcharge. Eba, can we hold on? The problem here is that as Eba's defending on these 3 bases, GogojOey, he's droning, expanding, getting further ahead. Just getting further ahead here as we start to step forward. We focus down the Immortal. And we're down to a handful of units remaining here. Eba is up against the wall. And he just cannot hold on. GG gets called. GogojOey takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Again, a solid game there from GogojOey. I mean, I say a solid game. It was a very interesting opener as well. For him to go for the goal base on the other side, we saw that Eba was attempting to punish him, but wasn't really too active at all with his Adepts, at least initially. Wasn't able to move out, wasn't able to really punish that gold whatsoever. And GogojOey made full use of that goal base, was able to punish Eba instead. GG, well played. GG, well played. Again, was a risky move from GogojOey, but got away with it. Iba, meanwhile, his build was very interesting, right? The 4-gate Glavedep, but like the macro variation, and yeah, it was a wild one. Was a wild one. So just messaging the players and making sure that the correct servers are being made. Oh. Here we go. Meanwhile, when it comes to the bracket itself, we can go over it in a moment. Once we wrap up with our series. Can dive on said bracket. We'll get there. We'll get there. But yeah, we have some returning players. We have our regulars as well. But we are missing one player. Unfortunately, there is a player that's missing, and I'm getting ahead of myself. But now we're still focusing on our best of 3. Still are focusing on it. So we have some updates coming in. There's some updates coming in, but here we go. You can hear the beeps. Game number 2. It's going to be on Alkione. Let's go. Let us go. I'm catching up in the chat. You missed a check-in. Optimus, no. Smash. What if I jumped into a VC and casted the game? Este lechito. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Este milk. But here we go. We're diving into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkione. We have our red Protoss player from the land of the UK committing to Protoss here, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Iba. Looking to bounce back in this series as he is up against the wall and spawning in the top right-hand corner. We have the blue Zerg player from the land of Hong Kong representing Hyper 1. It is GogojOey. Let us go. Again, was just catching up. For those that are curious, for those that are maybe unfamiliar with our players, I should emphasize as well that Iba is mainly a Zerg player, does stream quite often, and he's an up-and-coming and very strong player in the European region, to be honest. Is an Epic Land champion as well, from I think last year, if I remember correctly. Maybe 2 years ago at this point. But Iba is one of the best in the UK. But doesn't enjoy certain matchups, is what I will say. He typically does avoid the ZVZ matchup, and he enjoys off-racing instead. Very similar to some other players out there, like Rainer, for example, where he avoids the ZVZ and goes for an off-race instead. Does believe he has a better success with that instead, or does just enjoy it more. So Iba going to be off-racing here against GogojOey. And can we bring it back? I want to believe we can. Again, Iba has some pretty impressive Protoss play. We have seen him take down some big players in PvPs. That is true. Seen him take go toe-to-toe with players like Cristiano, for example. Cristiano, he is our back-to-back Sparkling Tuna Cup champion, by the way. So for Iba to keep up with Cristiano, I mean, that does say something. I would still favor Cristiano, don't get me wrong, but Iba can threaten him with his Protoss. As I do see GogojOey going for his third base. Everything looking normal. Hatch gas pool into a third. No additional gas mining. No rush into a Bailey nest or a Roach Warren or a lair. Standard game at a GogojOey. And we should be expecting standard play as we're loading into Alkione. Again, a very large map in the map pool, a very macro-oriented. The 3 and even 4 base setup is very secure on this map. So I'm sure Eba is looking to go for a much more standard game this time. And there it is. We have the Stargate. Now this should be for oracles. It should be leading into a third base, into a longer macro game. Something a lot more stable compared to the chaos that we had in game 1. This is what I'm expecting. Meanwhile, I was expecting an Oracle, but no, it's going to be a Void Ray. Okay, Eba has the option to spice things up here. Now, with a Void Ray opener, the goal is going to be to shut down these Overlords. We have one Overlord coming into the main, we have one Overlord here outside of the natural, we have another Overlord out by the Zelnaga as well. Now, these are going to be the 3 targets for this Void Ray. We'll see if we can hunt all of them down. The wise move here would be to ignore this Overlord, go across the map, and try to hunt down this Overlord first, the one that just now turned around. If we can kill this Overlord, then we can secure our kills on these other 2, as they're further out on the map, and they're unlikely to make it back home. We can see, though, that Eba goes for the Overlord in his main, and now is skirting around looking for another. Meanwhile, GogojOey pulls back quick, does pull away. And with the death of these Overlords, it also means that GogojOey is in the dark. It means that Eba could go double Stargate Void Ray, double Stargate Phoenix, could rush into Skytoss, could go into Glaver Depths. There's a lot of options available here to Eba, and that is a fast Twilight Council. So it's going to be a single Void Ray into an Oracle, into a Twilight Council. So this looks like Glaves. This looks like Glaver Depths once again. It could be something else. We could go for a blink-based 8-gate all-in. That is true. We have seen that variation off of this as well. Charge is also an option, but I'm leaning towards mainly Glaver Depths. If not that, blink. As a reminder, there is no forge. There are no upgrades. And we're waiting for our tech of choice. What do you have for us? And it is going to be charge. Okay, interesting. I wasn't convinced that it was going to be a charge base all in, but I mean, we were warping in Zealots. That was a tip off. Zealots were warped in, and yeah, it's going to be charged. So this is something that is very uncommon, very unpopular. So I'm really excited to see how it plays out. For now, we have 6 gateways. 6 gateways in total. If we're going for a charge base all in, we can probably throw down additional gateways as well. Forge is on the way. Interesting. That's going to be for +1. So I believe we're going for an initial Zealot push and this initial Zealot timing. Now, this is not going to be an all-in, but it's designed to kind of hit GogojOey at a really weird moment when GogojOey should be droning and we shouldn't have an army. So this build is designed to catch GogojOey with his pants down. Lings are cleaned up. Zealots are moving out. Charge is almost done. Again, this is going to be a very crisp timing with charge. And here we go, Eba's pushing. And again, back at home, what does GogojOey have? He has a handful of queens, he has 0 roaches, and only 3 lings. This is what we spoke about. This timing right now is so unorthodox and so strange. GogojOey does spot the army, he's making roaches. GogojOey, he was supply blocked. And GogojOey, he has very little to work with, other than his queens. You can see 8 roaches are in production. We do force a cancel on the 4th base. Good damage already here by Eba. And now we're pushing in. It looks like Eba's taking a little bit too long though, because roaches have now arrived. We do collapse on this army. As the roaches, they're working their way through into the natural, and they do, oh, barely not bust in. GogojOey able to amass a large enough roach army in time. Did lose his 4th base, but he does defend against the push. Ooh, as a good chunk of drones go down. Oh my god, that's going to be 12 dead workers in total. GogojOey taking a big blow there. And behind this is Zelt survive. The Zelt, they survive. They're racing back home. We have Immortal production on the way. It's going to be double Robo, double Immortal production. Temple Archives +1. Archon's going to be on the horizon as well. Potentially Storm. Eba, he did enough. Did more than enough. And now Eba pushing out once again. Is pushing out. Is also going to be forced back. Which is rotating around. And GogojOey is stabilizing. Now, as he's stabilizing Eba, he's taking up and getting ready for his second wave. Now, when it comes to the second wave, it's going to be terrifying. We have 3, soon to be 5 Immortals. We have Archons on the way as well. This looks like the Cristiano build, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, this does feel like the Cristiano, or at least a variation of the Cristiano build. I'm sure maybe there was another player that started it. But I know that Cristiano has been quite fond of it, and here we go. We have 2 more Immortals on the way. Eba amassing his army. Soon going to be pushing out, splitting up his forces. Bold move here by Eba, as he does expand. Ooh, nice sniper by GogojOey. Gets the sentry. Sentry goes down. Good kiting as well. GogojOey just out trading his opponent. The Immortals, they have arrived. And with the Immortals being dragged out of the position, we see GogojOey hitting that third base. But the Immortals, they pop out just in time for the Robos. Good defense here by Eba. Eba does hold. And now GogojOey's in a bit of trouble. I've been focusing a lot on Eba's tech, on his composition, on his eventual push. And the push is coming. And how do we defend against it? From the side of the Zerg player. GogojOey, he might be about to max out, but the suit does lie. This supply here is inefficient. He's working with Roach Hydra. No lurkers. We do need a backbone to this army. Without lurkers, it is going to be a tough hold. See GogojOey pushing forward. Jesus, how many Immortals do we have? We have 9 Immortals! 9 Immortals, but yeah. We can break on through. We can try to shut down the Archons at least. Archon's going to be going down. Can we get on top of the Immortals? Storm isn't done, but it's finishing up in a couple of seconds. And there we go. Storm does complete. We have mass Immortal Storm here for Eba. And the Hydras cannot push into this. Now, we could try and be greedy. The Hive is about to finish. I was going to say we could try and go into a Greater Spire, for example, for Broodlords. But a Lurker Den should be prioritized. And this Lurker Den, it's late. Typically, you want it lined up with the Hive, so you can start up the upgrades immediately. But the upgrades are going to be delayed. And Eba's pushing. Catch a Void Ray. Eba pulling back. Trying to keep up with the army of GogojOey. GogojOey is going to be rotating around here towards the right-hand side. He's got his 2 forces. Forcing Eba to split up as well. Do clean up some Zealots, but Eba is holding on. Throwing down some Storms. But honestly, GogojOey, he's doing a great job at just keeping Eba busy. What's happening right now is that GogojOey is working towards the Lurkers. The Lurker Den is almost done. Just now finishing. Meanwhile, Eba staying on a low supply here, just constantly trading out units. Units he can't afford to lose. Or can't afford to replace. Eba moving out through the center. We have Lurker range on the way in production. Decent Storm. Immortals push in. GogojOey not quite in position, but he's collapsing on top of those Immortals. Gets one. Oh, gets a second Immortal as well. Again, without Storms, these Immortals are so exposed. Where are the Storms? Uh-oh. Where are they? We have 1 High Templar across the map. We take down the hatchery, but Immortals are falling left and right. Expensive losses there for Eba. They're forced to recall. And that was, what, 7 Immortals going down, 8 High Templar. Do we have any High Templar left? We do not. It's purely Immortal Zealots. Eba slipping up here. Without Storm, we saw what happens. We saw that GogojOey can just pick this army apart, and now we have the Lurkers on the way. High Templar being warped in, they're late. Everyone being morphed into an Archon, which is necessary, but at the same time, we need some Storms. We need everything. We do need everything here. As Eba does expand, taking the gold behind this on a good worker count, don't get me wrong. The Lurkers are pushing in. We have Two prongs coming forward for GogojOey. We collapse on the gold. That's a kill, not a cancel on the gold base. And GogojOey pushing in between the natural and the third. Lurkers in position. Do we have detection? We do. Oh, we did. Uh-oh. Observer was sniped and the lurkers are going ham. There's no detection. The lurkers. Yeah, a bunch of free damage on the army. We have to give up. We have to pull back. At the same time, that counterattack. Ooh, eviscerates a mineral line, takes down a base. Now, Eva's main army is still terrifying. Like, this massive mortal, like, force from Eva can clean this up. And counterattack. And GogojOey doesn't have a lot to work with. Where's the push? 12 immortals, by the way. At some point, Eva, he's just gonna throw caution to the wind and move out across the map. He has a death ball of an army. This army can end the game. And then the game, and here we go. We move out, we catch a queen. Lurkers in position. But only a handful of lurkers. We send in the storms. Oh, brutal. Brutal storms on the Hydras. The lurkers are going down, and it looks like Eva has done it. Eva's breaking through the Lings. They're too little too late. The Lings would have been amazing earlier. They would have done such a great job at buffering. As we barely did snipe that observer. That lurker going ham. Up. Trying to get an immortal. Does get one. One immortal goes down. Token Swarmers comes out. Storm once again on the Hydras. And Eva has been able to bounce back. Time is working against Eva, but for the most part, Eva, he has enough of the lead. It's fine. Another counterattack on the right hand side. Zealots at the gold base. We're down to 10 immortals. Still more than enough. So we back over, rotate around. We snipe a base. Wait for detection. Observer has arrived. With the help of this observer, now we can push in once again. In position, we take down one Archon. But yeah, the army is just melting before the Immortals. And Eva has done it. GG gets called. We tie up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Oh, again, Eva going for a very interesting style here. Again, we've seen it before. We saw something very similar out of Christiana against Reina a couple of days ago. And again, this is why I associate it with Christiana. He's been doing this build for a very long time, for over a year at this point. And yeah, it's just building up this death ball of an immortal count is crazy, papi. It is crazy. And with that, we're getting into the ace match. Eva just messaged me. He's like, I can do 5,000 things wrong, but it's fine because I can make immortals. And here we go. We're getting in game number 2. Número 2. Meanwhile, we have some updates going on here in the brackets. We're going to be going through those updates momentarily. Oh my god, David's popping off. David! Here we go, we're diving into the ace match. Game number 3, it all ends here. It all ends on Amphion. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amphion, we have our blue Zerg player from the land of Hong Kong, representing Team Hyper 1, being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it all back? It is GogojOey. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes from the land of the UK. It is Eva. Go. This is it. It all comes down to this. It all comes down to this final game. And I'm curious, Amphion is an interesting map. With this setup, we can go for a pretty secure 2 and 3 base setup here from the side of the Protoss, even a 4 base setup as well. My eyes are mainly on GogojOey to see how he's able to break a defending player like Eva. What is the plan? What is the plan here? For now, we do have a gate expand. Gate expanded to Cybercore. Standard opener here out of Eva. Meanwhile, GogojOey back at home, getting into his hatch gas pool, force take the unnatural natural. So things are going to be a little bit more awkward in the early game. But honestly, on a map like Amphion, there's no reason not to just go for a Stargate initially and get into the mid game. I'm not expecting too much aggression out of Eva early on, but we'll see. We shall see. As we're just waiting for our tech to finish up. When it comes to the map itself, there is an entire section of the map that's cut off here by mineral walls and rocks. Very similar to Crimson Court, I suppose, except it's only on one side of the map. As we have rocks and minerals here to break through towards the left. Because of that, it can be a little bit more awkward to actually apply pressure in these areas, especially with the high ground here at this triangular third. So we have our tech of choice. It's going to be a Stargate opener out of Eva. Behind this, going for our third base as well, GogojOey, expanding, taking his third, shuts down the pylon, and will take the hatchery. Adept getting here a little bit too late. The goal for Eva going for the pylon block was not just to delay the expansion, but to delay it long enough for the Adept to arrive. And the pylon was dealt with. And GogojOey's third wasn't delayed for too long. Ooh, I say that one drone goes down. Up! Oh my god. No! A very nasty position here from Eva. And actually lay siege upon the mineral line from the high ground. Second Adept has arrived. We catch a couple of transferring workers. 3 drones go down. That's 4 in total. When I say 4, that's going to be 5. Aye, aye, aye. 5 drones in total going down. Finally, the Adept does fall. But that was a pretty good start here by Eva. Very nice start. Following this up, we have the Oracle moving out. This time it's going to be an Oracle first, not a Void Ray. And interesting, we are actually avoiding... Okay, I was like, are we skipping the second Oracle? Nah, it's on the way, just a little bit delayed. It's fine. The way. Ling's gonna cross the map. No shield battery. The Adept getting low. And the Adept, ooh, barely goes down. Pick up from GogojOey. And we've yet to really commit to any tech of choice here. Lair is now on the way. Momentarily, we should be seeing a Roach Horn. If we don't, it could just be Ling Hydra. GogojOey is more of a Roach player. We'll see. Game settling down. Oracle's being active. 2 Oracles ahead towards a third base. 3rd Oracle's in production. Wing's not quite ready, though. Okay, we dive into the mineral line. 3, 4 drones going to be going down. 5th drone towards the end. Good pick off overall. Oracles that can back off, regenerate their shields, and go in once again. And always jump back in. Meanwhile, GogojOey, he has opted to skip the Roach Warren. That is a Balian S instead. So this could be Lingbane Hydra. We'll see how many gases are taken. This could also be Lingbane into Muta as well. Speaking of Mutas, there's the Spire. Spire is on the way. Oracles, they come in. Ooh, and they do not see the tech. Whew. As I say that, we try to dip in once again. We do get 4 drones, good pickoffs, but Iba, he has not scouted behind the mineral line, is not aware of the hidden Spire. Boy. With that, these Mutas, they can snowball out of control. They have before. Sure, they will again. Has to be prioritized. We see the Oracle rotating towards the right-hand side, getting eyes on the new 4th. Let's get eyes on the 4th. Oracle going to be backing off from here, and despite the scouting, despite the Oracle harassment, no scouts. We barely do not confirm the tech here. We have Blink on the way, +1. Second Robo, the Bay as well. This is going to be for double Colossus production. Like a pretty robust style and composition here from Iba, and thankfully does have Blink Stalkers, but there's no sign that Iba is aware of the Mutas. There's no sign of Phoenixes, and without Phoenixes, these Mutas are going to be able to wreak havoc. They can get a lot of economic damage done. They have potential. They have a lot of potential. Iba rotates around. Likewise, GogojOey getting ready for a Link counterattack. Does slip in, does potentially get on top of the shield battery. Iba being forced back home. And we're going for the Nexus? Oh, that's a bold move. The base of all things. At the same time, Mutas, they slip into the main. And probes are going down. And we do force a recall. Is forced out. We dive in towards the natural. At the same time, the Lings, they do push in once again, but there are Oracles to defend. There are those Oracles. Joe going to be able to pin it away, bleeding out some Mutas. We'll pull back. 2 Mutas went down for 12 probes, worth it. Meanwhile, Phoenix production has now commenced, as Eve is now aware of what's going on. But already worth it here for GogojOey. Behind this, we have Stalkers in position. Oh, shutting down one of those Mutas. At the same time, Links, they do hit the right-hand side. We have Blinks. Blink available. Speaking of, GogojOey consolidating his army, he wants to break this position. Shield battery is done. The base is what we have the overcharge. Overcharge is focused down. We can go for the Phoenixes. We're running out of Links. Oof. Rough trade here from GogojOey. Does bleed out a couple more Mutas. Did reset the Phoenix count. Does have to be more wary. Does have to be careful. That Muta cloud getting higher and higher. We're up to 21 Mutas, soon to be 27. That's a lot of Mutas, Papi. It's a lot of Mutas. +2 air attacks on the way. Phoenixes are amassing. How many Phoenixes do we have? We're down to 2 Phoenixes, soon to be 3. They do hit the natural, depowering whatever they can. Depowering gateways, denying upgrades, +1 air attack, not going to finish. And GogojOey, he may just have too much. Stalkers are doing well for themselves. Are trading well. Mina's going to have to pull back. Goal maybe to try to camp the production, but we are waiting in position. Stalkers are going down. Yeah, we have hit critical mass. At this point, GogojOey, he can break through the line of Stalkers. Every Stalker goes down. We get a Phoenix. We get 2. We're down to 2 Phoenixes here for Eba, and again, it's just not going to be enough. The final Phoenix goes down. Link Stalkers can be impressive, but again, there's only so much they can do. At the same time, Link counters Akira as to the 4th base, and we are pulling Eba apart left and right, forcing a recall. Mutas dive in. They dive in, getting 14 probe kills. The final Phoenixes go down, and we can just engage with the main army. There's nothing holding GogojOey back. GG gets called, and GogojOey will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. The power of the Muta again. The Spire went unscouted. Eba had no idea, and by the time he did realize what was happening, it was too late. Again, damage was being done left and right. We were able to catch out the Phoenixes, catch out Stalkers, catch out probes. Very nice movements out of GogojOey. GG, well played. Congratulations. As GogojOey advances on, Eba is eliminated from the tournament. GG. GG, well played. And we can take this moment as well to have a look at the brackets.